be talking all about common social media myths and why you shouldn't be believing them. I hear a lot of these all the time from not only accountants and bookkeepers, but businesses all around social media too. So just to make sure before we kick off, you get the most out of today's experience, if you've got anything running in the background, whether it be, other apps, your email, whatever that might be, please think about shutting it down if you can, because it can interfere with the visual and sound quality of the webinar. We do have a question box at the bottom of the webinar panel. If you've got any questions at all throughout the webinar or at the end, we'll have a question and answer section. Please do pop it in there and I'll answer them or get back to you if it's something a bit more bespoke and personal to you. We also will be recording the webinar as well, and we'll send that out. So anyone that may miss a little bit or want to go over something again, we've got that recorded for you. So just to give you set the scene a little bit here and why we are talking about social media, is while social media may be one of the first things to fall off your to-do list when you're low on time, or something maybe that you've just not wanted to tackle yet, do remember it is valuable for businesses and firms of any size, and nurturing customers and prospects on social media has a direct impact on sales and your bottom line. As you can see from these top two stats here from Sprout Social's Global Index survey, shows that people are more likely to buy from a brand or someone that they follow on social media, and customers are more likely to purchase from them after a positive experience as well. Specifically for accountants, you can see that social media is on the rise. These bottom three stats show that both professionally and personally. Our own recent research shows that 72% of firms are now using at least one social media platform, and this has risen 13% in the last 5 years. So on to the first myth, probably the thing that I hear the most, is that I need to be on every social media platform. Many firms, and in fact just businesses in general across all industries, believe they need to have a presence on all of the social media platforms. This is simply not true. In reality, it's a false assumption that your firm needs to be on every platform to be successful. There are a number of reasons why this is neither true or wise. Firstly, you'll be wasting your time using a social media platform if your ideal clients aren't using it. Take, for example, Snapchat. It's very niche. Some of you may use it. Some of you may have children that use it. If your target audience isn't, you're wasting time on it. Social media's power is the ability to help you connect and build relationships with your ideal clients. Why would you want to put time and effort on a platform already anywhere where your community is not active or there at all? Secondly, you should only use as many platforms as you can manage effectively. Stretching yourself too thin over too many platforms can actually hinder your ability to build relationships and see results on any given platform. Doing social well requires spending time creating great content and also engaging in conversations with your community, more importantly. If you're not responding to comments, questions, and engaging, this will do more damage in the long run. Many firms also have the idea that they need to get on every new social media platform that comes out. There are a lot that do this. You don't need to be an early adopter on each new social media platform. Many firms, in fact, don't have the resources or skills to successfully be early adopters on new social media platforms, nor should they try. It can be smart in this instance to adopt a wait-and-see attitude that can also prevent you from wasting a lot of time. Early adopters have to be savvy enough to easily master the new platforms, as well as have the resources to spend time on a platform that may not be around for very long. This is because there are many new platforms that crop up, never again to be seen, and some disappear completely altogether, such as a case of the live streaming platform Blab, if any of you have heard of it. I'm hoping not, because that sort of proves my point with this one. The second myth I hear a lot is that to be successful, you have to have a large number of followers or get a lot of likes. And I also see this, especially with accountants and bookkeepers, hinder them even starting. Often firms will judge their social media success by the number of fans, followers, friends, and connections that they have. In reality, while the size of your account can act as social proof, it doesn't directly affect the success of your social media strategy. You can have a small social media community and still be extremely successful with your strategy if you're directly connecting and engaging with your ideal clients. You can turn a small community into a great following of loyal followers and referrers. Engaging and providing value to the community you have consistently, it will naturally grow over time. I think this quote from Laurie Taylor encapsulates this really well. Fans of vanity and sales are sanity. Probably this one is my pet hate, and something I see a lot of is people thinking selling on social media is simply pitching their service and their firm. Firms of all sizes, and this is not just accountants and bookkeepers, by the way, are still pitching their products and services on social media and expecting people to listen, care, and purchase. In reality, people don't want to be blasted with your sales and marketing pitches. Your community wants to be treated like you value them. You can do this by finding out their needs and challenges as business owners, creating educational content to help them be successful with those challenges in their preferred format, and then regularly share this in a consistent fashion. In fact, being too promotional is the number one reason clients and prospects will unfollow you on social media. I can't say this enough. The goal of your social media marketing should never be to simply bulk schedule and blast out posts about yourself. Think of it like, you go to a networking event or you meet someone in a social situation and all they do is keep talking about themselves at you and to you all the time. It's simply the same on social media. It doesn't go down very well. Social networks also don't reward you for a publishing only strategy without, removing that social part of social media, and neither do your customers and prospects. Instead, you can look at your social media presence from a funnel perspective. Yes, of course, you need to publish content to drive awareness, reach, and overall brand awareness of your firm, but it doesn't stop there. The further down you get the journey or the funnel, the more important it is to actually respond to your customers and prospects and create great relationships. This process can typically begin with sharing a helpful piece of free educational content that they can receive in exchange for providing their name and email address. Once you have them in your email list, it's a lot easier to continue to build the relationship alongside social media, offer more resources, and stay front of mind. No matter where your client or prospect is on the funnel, make sure that you're listening and responding to your customers at every stage of the journey. I think this sums it up really, really well. Trustworthy content doesn't love itself. It's there and it tries to inform and educate your clients and prospects. So always think about it from that perspective, always trying to inform and educate. Myth 4 is if I engage on social media, I get lots of negative comments. I see a lot of hesitancy from firms sometimes, really worried that they'll receive negative feedback. Of course, no one likes to hear negative feedback about their work, product, or service. And many business owners fear that their social media profiles will be overrun with people posting complaints and competitors flaming their brand, so to speak. The beauty of social media interaction, though, is that transparency and responsiveness rule the day. If a customer chooses to voice a complaint publicly, you've the chance to demonstrate your customer service ability to a wider audience. If the person is unreasonable and continues to post negative information, people observing the dialogue are more likely to admire your efforts to right the situation rather than take to heart the angry customer's complaints. Plus, hopefully this gives you a little bit of a smile. Sometimes your customer base does the heavy lifting for you, like this little gem from the American Airlines Facebook page. Someone complaining, taking the time around emails that they're getting, and people actually realizing that it's really unfounded, it's not fair, they're trying to do a really good job, and actually replying on behalf of the company. I think this is a really nice way to demonstrate when you do things with loyalty, with care, and you build up a really good community. Often your community steps in for you as well. Myth 5 is around measuring the impact of social media on my firm. I hear a lot of firms say, oh, well, I don't really know how it's performing for me. I don't know what it's doing. I don't really want to go on social media because of the unknown. I can't really say that it's doing anything for me. The social media return on investment debate has been one that's been picked apart time and time again. So you think it wouldn't maybe make this list. However, it continues to rank high on the list of objections about social media from firms and businesses in general, and I do completely understand why. Since the interaction mechanisms are different with social media than traditional marketing, judging purchase intent and likely customers from social media behaviour is a new skill for many. So in terms of engaging and reporting on it, it doesn't have to be overly complicated. Pay close attention to the referrals from social media sites on your web pages and those people's behaviour compared to users who get to your site through other means. It's also a really good strategy when you do bring a client on board. Ask them whether they follow you, ask them how they found you, what they did to look up before they contacted you, because quite often that will give you ideas of, did they go to your website, did they have a look at your social media channels? Might be a combination of all that has brought them to actually come and approach you to working with them. All social media networks do actually offer native analytics on your social presence as well. So if you're thinking about things like wanting a broad overview to see what content is resonating most with the audience and what times during the day are popular, things like what I've listed here around impressions, engagement rates, visits, all of these you can get off the social media platform yourself. If you are, however, tying someone's role or any KPIs to social media marketing, or you may just want to get deeper analysis, like things like cross-network analysis, cross-profile analysis, and more, you will need to invest in a social media management platform that will give your overall analysis, will bring that for life for you and make that a whole lot easier. If anyone is interested and they would like some recommendations, please do flick through a question there or make a time to chat, and I can chat to you a little bit more in detail about those as well. And the last myth is, I don't have time for social media. So learning how to interact on social networks is very easy because it simply involves talking with people and having candid conversations about interesting topics, just like you would in real life, that real social aspect. Though you do need to spend some time interacting with people and posting useful, engaging content, the returns on your time should be enough to make social media interaction worthwhile. It should be an extension of your service, of your prospecting, of your networking, how you're looking to attract and engage clients anyway. This, I think, sums it up really, really well. You can't fake caring. If you are engaging and putting social media as part of your services, if you are caring for your prospects and clients, you are always going to do well. There are, of course, lots of helpful tools to help you with things like scheduling, analytics, and reporting. BizInc can even help too. We've designed our website and tools to complement each other and to make it really easy for you to be incredible online. Things like if you're posting to your blog, you can automatically have it published to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google+. I love this because it brings through the image as well and makes it look really nice and beautiful on the social media channels. We can also create social media posts to use on your favorite sites and even provide more hands-on support and create content for you. So we've gone through those common myths, and hopefully listening to that, you've heard the objections and why social media is great for accountants and firms, and a little bit more about how it can help you. I'm going to just pause here and take in any questions that we have. Please do pop them through in that question panel. If you've got something you'd like us to do a webinar about, or you'd like to pick up anything I've mentioned at a later date, my emails are there for you as well. So please do feel free to pop me through an email.
Awesome, Gayatri. Thanks a lot for that. I can see we've got a couple of questions already, so I'll just ask them out here for you now. The first one is really about how often should I post and the best time as well.
So that really comes down to who your ideal clients are and what sort of industry they are in or what sort of size they are. And that will derive your posting and scheduling strategy. Also, what platform it is. Some platforms naturally lend itself to having more posts. Things like Twitter, where the frequency and the quantity is a lot more. you can post more, whereas something like Facebook and LinkedIn, you can get away with posting less frequently. So first off, I'd have a look at where your ideal clients and prospects are, like what social media platforms. Also think strategically around, well, when are they going to engage with that platform? You can, through a quick Google, find some statistics on different platforms as well. That gives you a really good idea of ideal times. But also just think commonly, like, most people, if they're a professional, they tend to look at it before they start work, over a cup of coffee, maybe at lunch, maybe on the commute home. So think from your client's perspective when they're going to be engaging, and match up your posts with that as well.
Awesome. So, I mean, you mentioned way back at the start in terms of like actually choosing a platform being, where your target market are. How would you suggest actually finding that out as to, which platform your target market are on?
Of course, if anyone has a particular question around a particular industry, I can tell you quite quickly. A really good couple of resources are Sprout Social and also Social Media Examiner. Every year they publish industry statistics about the most common platforms for each industry. Some, when you start to learn a little bit more about the platform, you can start to think of yourself what would match up. So for example, if you think of something like Instagram, it's picture, very visual orientated, things like, fashion, beauty industries, any industry that lends itself to being pictorial, you're going to expect to find on Instagram. So if you're an accountant or a bookkeeper dealing with those sorts of industries, you can expect to find your clients there. So there are some, very obvious clues in terms of the platform, but I always say a really good place is those two resources, Sprout Social and Social Media Examiner, if you are wanting just to have a little look, have a little bit more insights into those particular industries or size of businesses that you're interested in working with and your ideal clients are, and go from there.
Perfect. And just for everyone listening, we can send out links to websites and things that Gayatri has mentioned today, including, what Sprout Social and that sort of thing, so you can have a deeper look there. I've just got one last question that I can see for now, basically asking, does social media affect SEO?
So yes, it does. I don't know if you've ever done a Google for a business or a brand before. Social media platforms and pages actually rank really highly. So generally when you do a Google for, say, BizInc, you would also see BizInc's Twitter profile and Facebook profile. And you do generally find when people are doing a bit of social proof research about you, whether it's been that it's a recommendation, whether you've met them and they're looking to contact you, Google is the most preferred medium to start to do that. But if if you are present on social, you will find that people naturally will gravitate and have a look at your social profiles as well. Have a look at what you're posting. It's a really good way to get your personality out there, get a little bit more dialogue. So I think, absolutely, but just be mindful of that. If you are on social and people are having a look at you, that they will find you and will look at your platforms like that as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for that. Those are all the questions I can see for now.
Amazing. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined us today. Hope you have a good rest of your day or evening, wherever you're based. And please do, if there's anything else you think of, flick through any questions. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.